Hey dreamers, Bryce here from Midnight Notion, singer, songwriter, musician, and a big fan of Metallica, but I have no idea what my favorite Metallica song is. Could it be Lords of Summer? Let's use math to find out. Cue the intro.
So give it to me now!
For the best Metallica song! Lords of Summer, the very last song on the Searching for the Best Metallica Song playlist. I don't know if we're calling this a playlist or what, but this is the last one. They have not released any further new songs to my knowledge. You could call Iron Foundry a Metallica song, but that was a cover. And you could call maybe the acoustic version of All Within My Hands a Metallica song, but there's already a version of that, so it's technically kind of a cover. So as of this time period, right now, unless they release a new record before I finish recording and editing this is the last song. When they do put out a new record, you can expect I will be here. But for now, we're going to listen to the song together. I'm going to talk about anything I find interesting, and then we're going to grade it using the following criteria: composition, memorability, emotional response, instrumentation, and lyrics. Each category is a 0 to 4 scale with a grand total of 20 possible points. We'll find out at the end of the video if this one has what it takes to get to the top 20 list. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because, like I said, this isn't the last song, or it is the last song, but we got some tiebreakers to do and then an awards ceremony where I give you my full list. So hit that subscribe so you can be back here in time to see the whole thing. Let's listen to this song. 3, 4 goes down. So there we have again 3 plus 4. That last for the first 3 with ba ba ba, and then the 4, the tag, the plus 1 is ba ba ba, and it comes down lower. Then we repeat it again. We have a different drum fill, ba 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 do do do. All right, and we also have a high guitar. It sounds like Kirk to me. Ba ba ba. And then the fourth time, the plus 1, it's a pick scrape or a slide down on the neck of the guitar. Now, are we going to get another change? Yep. I have to say that this riff, I think that they played this song live somewhere around if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around the Death Magnetic area, or era, I should say, somewhere between 2008 and 2016. This song came out, and then they ended up not putting it on the record, but then they're like, maybe we should anyway, right? And so there was something about, this is an old song revived, or at least my memory of that. I could be completely wrong. But man, this riff, really cool riff, thrash riff. This is everything we wanted from Spit Out the Bone, but will it make it through the center section, the middle section, where Spit Out the Bone couldn't? We'll find out. Alluding to the chorus, this is very Horseman, right? It feels very much like the Four Horsemen a little bit. We got sort of a gallop to the riff. Oh yeah!
Walk towards the fire and hate. Frostbitten soul.
harmony in his voice there. Are you remembering the sound? Are you remember? I don't know exactly what the note is, but I can hear the harmony. What a cool freaking riff. We come into just those double kick pedals. We know that Lars is having troubles with double kicks right now, but how cool is that sound of that just thick, boomy tama drum, boo 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 boo, with the thrash beat, and him on the cymbal. He's riding the cymbal with his right hand. He's cracking that snare on the left, and he's just going to town on those double kicks for that whole verse. This is so Kill 'Em All, right? I don't know that there's another song since Kill 'Em All that feels more Kill 'Em All than this one right here. It is so freaking great.
Recall the shaking of the ground. Pound it, no remorse. Lords of summer, set on course.
No remorse. Did somebody just say Kill 'Em All like seconds ago?
Push it, horsemen ride. Lords
Did somebody just say the Four Horsemen like moments ago? Huh? Huh? Huh?
of summer, undenied. At last the thawing has begun.
Okay, something important to note about this section. As I said yesterday, I wanted a quick thrash song that was over quickly. The thing about this song, the thing that makes it different, is that in this intro, as part of the intro, they changed the drums to allude to future slowdowns, all right? It was thrash, but then we had straight. So when we come back to straight in the chorus, it feels natural. And then when we go from straight to this halftime groove, it feels like a gradual change, right? It's only cutting it down just by a section. We're not going from thrash to halftime. We're going from thrash to straight to halftime. And that build down, that de-escalating, de-scaffolding, whatever you want to call it, matters. That's flow. If you want to hit a brick wall, you can. That's perfectly acceptable. I'm not the judge of what you can and cannot do in music, but I am saying that flow, if you want a song to really flow, you got to be able to change from section to section in a smooth way, and this one does it a little bit better. Now, I think you could argue that this is a little bit low energy. For the song that we set up in the first half, I think still this is a little bit lower energy. But another thing to note is that the first line he said is, and the thawing has begun. What is thawing but a slow process, right? We're thawing, right? We were going fast, we're frozen, and now the thawing has begun. I know that we're talking about summer, but it just, the thawing has begun. That is a great way to set up a slower section of the song because thawing takes a little while.
Train to darkness or the sun, melting the chill of winter's turn. So celebrate and let your fires burn. The lords of summer have returned.
Da! The other important thing to note is that when they're going in this halftime groove, it's not just a halftime groove. There is a singing part on top of it. James has still got that grit and just he's got something to hold it together. This thing has begun. Da, 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 da. He's going up high. He's playing. He's really singing well. He's doing a really great job with this song. So in comparison to Spit Out the Bone, when we slowed down, it was just the instruments and we had nothing else to focus on but how it was just, ugh. I shouldn't still be talking about Spit Out the Bone, but I just feel like I need to make that point clear. I'm not ripping it because I just immediately hate the song. I'm actually analyzing this from a flow perspective. You gotta have flow. Flow is important. And as far as flow goes, this one's doing it better so far.
Straight
I would gladly become the shaking of the ground. Thank you for the invitation to do so.
Pounding, pounding, no remorse. Lords of summer, set on course. Pushing, pushing, horsemen ride. Lords of summer, undenied.
I think that we could maybe cut this section, right? Just go from Horseman Undenied. Endless the thawing. If you just cut out this little section here, it would be probably even better. But I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about this little transition. I'm grading this fairly. I'm not just saying this is way better than Spit Out the Bone. I'm grading it fairly. There is a little bit of a rockiness to this transition. I'll give you that. Singing is so good. The flesh betrays the flesh. See, I'm just saying, you could have used it right here. Maybe different words, obviously. It wouldn't really fit. But you got that straight groove, right? This is true. This is a good, solid transition. Just everybody stop, let the drums go. This could be, it's very similar to Injustice for All. It's very similar to One. Just let the drums go for a little bit, then introduce your next riff. Really cool transition. That is exceptional. I love it. That note right there, it's unsettling. It's just a little bit haunting in there. It doesn't feel You can hear the dissonance in it. Very, very, very cool. Ooh, changing, going up. Here the rhythm guitar track is building up. They're climbing. It's a hill. They're illustrating a hill. The chord progression is moving up. They're not going ba 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 ba, right? They're going ba 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 ba. They're climbing up a hill. They got a dueling guitar solo. I'm telling you, man, this is Kill 'Em All. This is Ride the Lightning. This is exactly the Metallica we've been looking for. Ooh. That little hold there. All right, cool. Now I can already tell we're going into a straight riff, and that felt to me like it was building to thrash. So I'll knock them soon, I think, for that. But there was a nice little build. We have a callback to the intro and the little hold out there, and we were expecting to go, and there's a little hold coming back in. Really, really cool. But now we got whatever's coming here. See, okay, again, I feel like that could have been a different song, right? After we have this really cool, eerie build, we got this dueling guitar solo. It feels positive. It feels like it's growing. And then it kind of comes down a little bit, changes the progression. And then we have that holdout. And then we go into thrash, just, and and then it's done, right? That's the ideal version of this song. Instead, they build it, they hold out, and then we go back to that main bridge riff, which is just a straight feel, and it's kind of a meh solo. It doesn't really go anywhere new. They do have that cool break there, whatever those notes are. Those were pretty cool, but again, it feels like a different song to me, man. It feels like that really, really, really could have been its own piece, because everything before it was great, and this is great too, but it just doesn't feel like it fits together for me. There we go. I like that. Instead of going to a straight riff or a thrash riff, just the straight build. That makes the last chorus different from the first two. Really cool.
Horsemen ride, the lords of summer, undenied.
We didn't need to come back to this. We were setting it up. The build is there. This is like when they make a sequel to a movie that's already had 4 movies. It's like, okay, guys, we kind of we had a really good sale of the last movie. It was record breaking. And I know you want to make more money, but if we ruin the story now, it's going to be really abysmal. Let us think highly of it forever and ever and ever more. We don't need to ruin it. We don't need to ruin it. We don't need to reboot it. I'm looking at you, Hollywood. Stop it. This song is having that same problem where they built, and they got to an amazing spot, and then they're like,
but what if we kept going?
And unfortunately, sometimes keep going is maybe not the best move, because right here we had a really solid ending there. Really solid third final chorus was like different from the others. And by bringing back the slow part of the chorus, we're robbing ourselves of that build. We're going back to that medium tempo again. So that's really unfortunate in my opinion. And there we are. We have reached the end of the journey so far. Let's give Lords of Summer some points. Whoosh. Composition. As much as I don't want every song to be really predictable, I also don't want songs to set expectations and break them intentionally and then laugh at me for for not following along, right? There's the difference between not playing a lick the 4th time through to kind of keep it fresh and building us up to something exciting and then giving us something mediocre. And I think that that's what this song does wrong. That's where it falls flat for me. I think that they set up a really exciting first half of the song. They have a really excellent bridge that builds to something interesting, and then just back to the bridge, the beginning of the bridge, and it's kind of a medium tempo, and it kind of goes half again, and then we kind of stumble back into the final chorus, right? And that final chorus is not really super necessary. It has a solid ending, but because of that flow, that drop in the flow, that expectation is set, and this isn't like I expect the band Metallica to bring us to something crazy. This is the song itself led me to believe that it was going somewhere. It didn't. They're not saying like, "Hey guys, guess what? There's going to be an amazing solo coming." But the way that they climb their guitars in that bridge section, they got those dueling harmonies. You know something big is coming, and it just doesn't ever get there. There's also that sort of same hump where Spit Out the Bone had, where it just kind of there's maybe a little extra information in that bridge solo section that could have been its own song. It's a fine enough enough riff, but maybe would have worked better on its own rather than filling up this one with unneeded extra material. So compositionally, it has a couple of bumps around the way, and so that knocks it down to 1 for me. There you go. Compositionally, 1. Memorability. I don't know really where I stand on this one because I think that the main riff, I think that section, that rhythm, that feeling kind of sticks for me more than the words do. But then Lords of Summer have returned, Lords of Summer undenied, Lords of Sunder, what am I saying? Summer. I think there's a few things that stand out, but I don't know that it's enough to really call it memorable. Again, memory works by doing something repeatedly over and over and over, or doing something that stands out of the crowd as something new and unique. I don't think that this song really does either exceptionally, but it doesn't not do them either. So I don't know where to stand. Memorability, it's a 2. Emotional response. Admittedly, I do still like this song. There is that little bump in the back half of it, but it's still pretty fun. And if I'm not mistaken, it's slightly different from when it was when they first played it live. Between Beyond Magnetic and Hardwired, they played it somewhere around like 2014-ish or something. And when they played it then, I remember being like, and this recording sounds way better. I think, did they release a recording? I feel like they shared it with the Met Club, and like Met Club members got to have a free download. And I remember listening and be like, it's all right. And then this recording came out and I'm like, I don't remember it being this good. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, it still has a positive spot in my heart. They almost never play it live. So if they were to play it, I'd be like, hell yeah, I would love to hear that double kick. So ultimately feeling pretty good, but I know that I feel better about other songs. So not really knowing where I land. Emotional response, 2. Instrumentation. This is where it lands about the same as Spit Out the Bone. They're all 4 of them playing really well. Lots of fast double kick stuff, lots of fast riffing, some cool solos. No complaints there. Instrumentally, 4. Lyrics. I want you to go to the Metallica.com website and check out the way these are written. It's a really interesting construction of poetry. If you look at the way it's written, sight is just its own line. Sight. That's the first line of the first verse. Just sight. Pale riders into the night, galloping harder and faster through your dreaming. All right. So there's no real rhyme scheme except I guess it's A, A, B, C. And it's just interesting to me to have the first word be a single word. And this pattern repeats throughout. Wake, walk towards the fire innate, which is a slant rhyme to wake. Frostbitten soul below zero. Excitation. That's only one word, but it's treated as 3 words, and just like through your dreaming. Throughout the rest of the lyrics, we have that same sort of pattern where it's a single word, some context of what that word is supposed to mean in the context of the song, and then we end the verse section with a single word that's 3 syllables long. Really cool structure to the lyrics. We have a lot of imagery going on. We have the dreaming. We have callbacks to No Remorse, the 4 Horsemen. We also have a lot in the chorus. Like I want to focus on the chorus because at the first part of this, Lords of Summer, you're like, oh, this is Metallica, right? They're the Lords. They're the 4 Horsemen. They're galloping through the night. They're playing a night show, right? They're playing a festival. They're going out of town. They're playing these large festivals. That's when they thrive. This is when Metallica gets to be Metallica. Winter is over and now we get to play, right? But I think there's another level because when you hear winter in songs, a lot of times, if it's not specifically talking about snow and happy holidays and all that stuff, winter often means like the darkness of the soul, right? You think of summer as bright and shiny and happy. You think winter as like cold and dreary and long and lonely. So winter is thawing. We're coming out of a depression and the brightness is coming. The brightness of the sun has returned, like trade the darkness for the sun. Celebrate and let your fire burn. What better way to end this series than to tell you to go out and make a difference in the world, take that depression, knock it down. Winter's over, although it's currently winter as of releasing this, but it's almost over, sort of, kind of, soon-ish. So you know what? Get out there, make something new. Maybe take this concept from my channel, go review some music of your own, because I tried this to get me through winter, and I'll tell you what, it worked. I went from about 109 fans to I think we're at almost 500 now. So many thanks to all of you for being here. I hope everybody continues to be warm and welcoming and happy and appreciative of this content. Lyrically, no problems. It's a 4. And so, Lords of Summer gets a grand total of 13 points. It is not enough for the top 20. It is in 72nd place out of 115. And boy, what a journey we had. I'm going to talk about what's coming next, but first, let's take a look at that top 20. This is not the official top 20 yet. Why? There are still ties. That's what I wanted to tell you. There are still ties on this board, and we need to get rid of those ties. So I'll tell you more about that. But first, it's your turn in the comments below. Let me know what score you would give Lords of Summer. Using my methods, do the math, add it up, and tell me what your score is. And be kind to one another. You can't just say, I hate the song. Like, actually give it some time, give it some thought. We're all positive people here, right? Don't just hate it. Say what you don't like. Give me a description of why. And then check out Midnight Notion. I got plenty of music around the internet. You can find me on Spotify. I would appreciate those streams. And of course, right here on YouTube, where it's your turn to subscribe. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. Why? Here's your answer. Tomorrow, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm actually filming this video in advance, and I'm going to spend the next couple of days figuring out what it exactly is. But tomorrow, I guarantee you a versus battle. We're going to go from the bottom up. Every single tie in my top list, in my entire list, we're going to break them video by video. Tomorrow, we've got Leper Messiah versus Low Man's Lyric, which is a very interesting battle, but we're going to do it right here, and we're going to find out how those ties are going to be broken. I promise you it'll be here, so stay tuned for that. I love you very much. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you then. You're awesome. Bye.